The thing is, it's like nobody saw this coming, right? So you can't blame her.
Oh, dude, especially me in like the middle of North Carolina in a small town. I had like horrible acne. I'm, especially back then, really awkward. It's like no one, like people would have bet $1 million that I wouldn't be a YouTuber. You know, it makes no sense. But I have, hyper obsession and I love this. And, you give it enough time, anyone can solve it. Yeah.
So what did you do when you first started? Like, what was the first idea?
The very first video, weirdly enough, I played this stupid game and some hacker like killed my base when I was 11. And so I uploaded it and my first video got 20,000 views. And that was probably the best thing that could have ever happened to me because then I was hooked from day one. Literally, like most people, it takes hundreds of videos before you get like one view. And somehow the very first video I uploaded at 11 got like 20,000 views. And then I was just like, oh, I fell in love and I've been hooked ever since.
Wow. So it was kind of almost by accident.
Essentially, yeah. It was that, and then because this was way before YouTube was even a thing. Like,
Right.
No one was really a YouTuber. Hardly anyone made money. Like when I was doing YouTube when I was 14 and 15, like it. Now, it's cool if you want to be a YouTuber in high school or middle
Yeah.
school. Back then, like no one gave a fuck. You know what I mean? It's like you're just worried they would try to play your videos in class or make fun of you or stuff like that for it.
Well, there's a lesson in that for people, really. Like to just, if you do have a hyper obsession to something, there's a lot of people that think that because they're bad at school or because they're not interested in school, that they're destined to be a loser.
Yeah.
And that's not true.
Especially if you're like extremely passionate about something at a young age, where
Right.
most kids are, then it's more exacerbated that it's like, I didn't talk to anyone. I hardly had any friends because I was so obsessed with YouTube. As back then, just no one cared. So it's like, I thought I was just like, just didn't even know how to speak. Like literally, I just couldn't hold a conversation with a single person because people would just tell me all you talk about is YouTube. And I would try to talk about something else. But back then I was so hyper obsessed and I literally just didn't know how to.
And how did you learn? Did you learn from YouTube?
Most of my growth came actually after I graduated high school. Basically what I did was I somehow found these other like 4 lunatics. 3 of us were college dropouts. One was a high school dropout. And one, I don't know, he just like quit his job. We all were super small YouTubers. And we basically talked every day for 1,000 days in a row and did nothing but just like hyper study.
But it's interesting that you thought about it that way in sort of a systematic approach. Like
Exactly.
This is not dumb luck.
No, I mean, it was like they say 10,000 hours in master or something. We
Yeah.
probably put in like 40, 50,000 hours. I mean, we're talking like
Wow.
every day, all day, like literally nothing. We had no friends outside of the group. That was your life.
You invest so much money into
all
the
the
show.
money I make. I don't. Why do I need money?
So you don't like go crazy? You don't have a Ferrari or anything nuts?
No. I think living your life chasing like a nicer car and a bigger and bigger box to live in is kind of like a dumb way to go about life.
But you don't think at some point you're gonna be like, yo, I want a big house at all,
Well,
ever.
why? What do I need it for?
No, you don't. But you don't
Exactly.
think you're ever gonna like be like, fuck it, maybe I'll whip a fucking
Money to me is just a way to, help people and grow the business and
Move
do
things
entrepreneurial
around.
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't, materialistic objects,
So-
I think is the worst way you can live your life.